Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Newmarket Racecourse here on the final day of the Craven meeting. It is Thursday, the 14th of April 2022. Forgot what day of the week it was. It's been a long week. We're going to look at almost all the races on day 3 of the Craven meeting for Newmarket. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. I mean it around the world. Join me tomorrow for the All-Weather Championship Finals from Newcastle. It's going to be an excellent card there. But we're going to look at almost all the races except the first two, the 115 and the 150. Very tough novice races, and we're just going to skip those over and start the card with the third race, the 225, which is the Betway 365 British EBF Condition Stakes. It's Class 3 conditions race going for a purse $27,000, race for 3-year-olds, which are EBF eligible. 6 horses are going 1,400 meters, or 7 furlongs on the turf course. I'm going to take as a top selection a 4-horse Tuscan. We'll go 4-2-1 in the tri-cash trifecta. 4-2-1 tri-cash trifecta, top selection of 4-horse Tuscan. 3-year-old Gelding by Churchill. William Buick gets on this one for Charlie Hills. The horse's most recent outing came in the Silver Tankard Stakes at Pontefract last fall. Soft ground on the 18th of October, 1 mile there, and even a 6 by 15 lengths. Was drawn very wide that day. Didn't like the very soft ground, and he just never quickened up late from a tracking position. It wasn't his day to win. Coming here, not the world's toughest race with a better poster, even with a high weight on faster ground, he should really run a lot better. 2 back in Class 4 novice race at Thirst, good round, 7 furlongs to 4th of September. He finished second by a head that day, and again, he was with them early on. He had the lead for a split portion. He got caught late. What can you do? He ran his heart out there, and then again at Thirst before that 13th of August, 7 furlongs in a Class 4 novice race, winning by 3/4 length. He was a little bit wide that day, but he stalked, he got the lead, and he got the job done. You know, the margin of victory was kind of decreasing late, but that's because he was basically, drawn in the parking lot that day. But coming here today, back to Newmarket, I'm going to give him a shot at 5-1. To recap my selection for the 225 third race here, we're going to take the 4-horse Tuscan, 4-2-1 in the tri-cash trifecta. The 4th race, the 3 o'clock, it is the Pat Smellin Memorial Handicap. Class 2 handicap going for a purse $40,500. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses were 81 to 100. 10 horses are going 1,600 meters or a mile on the Rolling Mile. We're going to take here the number 3 horse, Carolus Magnus. We'll go 3-5-9 in the tri-cash trifecta here. 3-5-9 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection 3 horse Carolus Maximus. This 4-year-old going by Holy Roman Emperor. David Probert's on this one for Andrew Balding. The horse's most recent outing came the 23rd of September here in Newmarket. 1 mile Class 4 handicap, and he won by 2 lengths that day. And he was with them early on, setting the pace. He had a great turn of foot, and he kept going on the front end. All around good race for him there, even with a ginormous weight on his back. Coming here to a Class 2, but it's not the world's toughest Class 2 with some weight break from his last few races. I think he's in a very good spot to win again here today. He likes running on the Rolling Mile. He's a winner of his last 2 locally. He actually won here last season in this one, going well, not this one, but in the 7 furlong main race, winning by 1 3/4 lengths that afternoon. He just put on a show from the front end, an all-around good race. But the race before the fall race here at Newmarket came on the 10th of September at Sandown. 1 mile Class 3 handicap, good ground there. He finished 3rd by 2 lengths that day. He was with them early on, but then he just completely crumbled. He never had the turn of foot. A lot fresher horses got to him there. And then at Lingfield, 1 mile in a Racing League handicap Class 3 event, something I don't like, by the way. The horse that day finished 6 by 6 1/4 lengths. Didn't break that well, which cost him. Was way behind the A-ball most of the race, under the drive, and just not excelling there off the bench. It just wasn't a recipe for success. Coming here, a lesser quality spot. I think the horse could really run a good race. Watch out for the 5-horse Edisur. His recent races in the fall weren't up to scratch, but I think they were just running him too far between races. Coming here to start off the season, if he can show his form in 2020, what he showed in 2020, he could definitely win against these horses. He's getting some class relief from some of his most recent races. At 15-1, we'll use him on the ticket. He's your wise guy horse. He's either going to run a massive race or he's going to hit way out of it. But to recap my selection for the 3 o'clock, the 4th race from Newmarket, let's take the 3 horse Carolus Magnus. Give kudos to the 5 horse Ataser. 3-5-9 tri-cash trifecta. 3-5 in your place Pont. The 5th race, the 335 now, it is the Feilden Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses going for a purse $70,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. 6 horses are going 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 on the Rolling Mile. Is this considered a early Derby prep? I would somewhat guess so, but I think they're a little bit better Derby preps. You have a great one coming up from Epsom next Tuesday, which I like. Join me for that preview. But my top selection here in the field, and I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, Muscella. We'll go 5-2-1 in the TriCash trifecta. 5-2-1 TriCash trifecta. Top selection, the 5 horse Muscella. This 3-year-old colt by Kabar. William Bukes on this one for Andrew Balding. The horse's most recent outing came 25th of September here at Newmarket. 1 mile in the Group 2 Royal Lodge Stakes, and he finished 4th by 5 1/4 lengths that day. And he just, was very lackadaisical. They ran a quick mile for these horses that day, and he just couldn't keep up. He was under the drive and just not excelling. Regrouping here to a little bit of a longer trip where they're going to slow it down from a tracking position. I think he could run a lot better. 2 back at Newbury on the 14th of August, 7 furlongs there at a Denford Stakes. He won by a head that day. It was the only time Buick rode the horse, and he basically sat on the front end, set some very pedestrian fractions, if you could count by the fractions, and he quickened up nicely, and he got the job done. A very good victory, small margin victory, but a very good margin victory with the step down class. And then 10th of July, he ran over in the July course here in Newmarket, 7 furlongs in the Group 2 Superlative Stakes. He finished second by a nose that afternoon, and he was with him early on. He couldn't get the good turn of foot. Native Trail just got to him, but he still ran his heart out there. And then before that at Ascot, 7 furlongs in the Chesham, he finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths there. Really just had nothing. That day he was stalking, but he never quickened up. What can you do? I think he needed the race for the experience. But coming here over the mile and the 8th of the 1800, which I think he really wants, I think he's loaded. You have to watch out for the 2-horse Cresta. Tom Marquand's on this one for Martin Mead. His most recent race came over at Newbury in the fall. 7 furlongs in the Harris Hill Stakes, where he finished second by 1/4 lengths. And he just kind of stalked, but never could get the good turn of foot. Soft ground got to him. Before the Tattersall Stakes here in September at Newmarket, he finished 4th by 6 lengths. And again, Modern Games put on a show. This horse just was very, just chasing most of the race and never got there. But his debut was quite impressive at Leicester, where he completely missed a break and recovered after that. But he's another horse. 1800 mile and 8th is really what he wants. He's going to get it today. Watch out for him for being on the up and up. But to recap my selection for the 335, the featured 5th race from Newmarket's the Feilden Stakes. So let's take the 5-horse Muscella. Give kudos to the 2-horse Cresta. 5-2-1 TriCash trifecta. 5-2 in your place pot. The 410, the 6th race. It is the Bets 365 handicap. It's Class 2 handicap, going for a purse $40,500. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rated 86 to 105. 6 horses are going 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the rolling mile. We're going to take the 2-horse Dance Fever. 2-3-4 for me in the TriCash trifecta. 2-3-4 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 2-horse Dance Fever. 5-year-old Gellin by Sir Prancelot. Hector Crouch is on this one for Clive Cox. The horse's most recent outing came at Wolverhampton over the 1800, or about a mile 16th, in a Class 2 handicap in the Lincoln Trial. He finished 10th by 10 lengths that day. He was drawn very, very wide that day. He never really showed forwardly pace, and it just wasn't his day to win. His all-weather races were just not recipe for successes because they were just not to his liking, because he was drawn wide and he was just, he doesn't like wide trips. He saw another wide trip before that, solo over the mile in a Class 2 conditions race where he finished 7th by 7.5 lengths. He was wide throughout. He sat back early. He should have showed some pace. That day he needed the race since it was his first race since the 18th of September, where he ran at Ayr, 1 mile in a Class 2 handicap, where he finished 6th by 3 lengths there, and he didn't break that well. He closed up a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. A lot of horses were closing in the race, and then a good one in late August, 7 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. He finished 4th by 1 3/4 lengths there. And again, he sat back early. He moved a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But if he could show form like he did between Doncaster and Ascot in late July and early August, he could show that form. He could win against these horses. That him form 10 to 1. We'll use him here along with the 3-horse Abel Kane. David Probert's on this one for Bill Milliman. The horse's most recent race on demanding ground at Leicester was quite nicely done, and he had a decent place a few days before at Ascot. If he saw a little bit better ground, he probably would have won. He goes up with a firm ground. He's faced a lot tougher horses in the fall than he's facing today. 2 to 1, use him in your plays pot. But to recap my selection for the 410, the 6th race from Newmarket, it's the Bet 365 handicap. Let's take the 2-horse Dance Fever. Give kudos to the 3-horse Abel Kane. 2-3-4 in the TriCash trifecta. The nightcap, the 7th race to 4:45 from Newmarket. It's the price promise at 365 handicap. The Class 3 handicap going for a purse $27,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Horses rated 76 to 95. 10 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the Rolling Mile. We're going to take the 5-horse Lookout Lewis. We'll go 5-4-2 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 5-4-2 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection of 5-horse Lookout Lewis. 6-year-old gun by Harbor Watch. Jason Hartz is on this one for Julie Camacho. The horse's most recent ad came 23rd of February in Newcastle. 5 furlongs in a Class 3 handicap, and the horse finished third by 4 lengths that day. And he's with them early on. He just couldn't get there late. He was on the drive, maybe just not excelling on the poly track or the Tapeta. Coming here to turf where this horse will see a quicker 5. I think this horse is a more realistic spot to win. 2 back on the 20th of January in Newcastle. 5 furlongs in a Class 4 handicap. The horse won by a neck with serious class reliefs from the previous race. This horse was with them, quickened up nicely in the front end, and just kept going. An all-around easy run for this horse there off the bench. 15th of September was the prior race at Yarmouth. Yielding ground, 5 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. He finished second by 3.5 lengths that day and sat back early, but really closed up from nowhere. This horse usually shows some forwardly pace, but that day he was coming from behind, and I thought this horse ran decently there. And then a week prior at Doncaster, 6 furlongs in a Class 4, finished third by 3.5 lengths. Probably wasn't 100% cranks. He was a little bit loner that day, not running with the pack. He closed up a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular about that run because he needed it there. But coming here, showing some forwardly pace, a 5-1, I'll give him a shot. Along with the 4-horse Fostus, Jamie Spencer, who's having a great season so far, gets some outs. We're only early on, but still. He won most recently at Newcastle on this one by 1.25 lengths on the front end on the rail side. I thought it was a very good run off the bench. Second off, this horse should show a lot more pace. Should love the firm ground. Watch out for this one also on the place pot. But to recap my selection for the 4:45, the 7th race from Newcastle, let's take the 5-horse Lookout Lewis as top selection. Give kudos to the 4-horse Fostus. 5-4-2 Tri-Cash Trifecta. 5-4 in the place pot. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.